I don't know, I went to the town bicycle lot. Damn. I don't know, I went to the town bicycle lot. But yeah, seriously though, in 5e, a elephant is only 200 gold.
Yeah, the difficulty is finding one.
And then feeding it.
That too.
And then when that elephant takes their shit, there's a roadblock.
Isn't gold in 5e a little bit different than like 4e? Like
Yeah,
you're
it's
not
pretty much
getting
impossible to spend. If you get like a 3.5 amount of gold, you'll be like that gif of the guy looking around really confused, because you'll be like, man, I have enough money to be able to buy anything I want, but there's nothing to buy.
Yeah.
It's rough in that game. Usually you have to have the crafting skills to
Get anything good?
yeah.
Oh, it's my specialty.
That's why a lot of GMs are pretty lenient, but still, even the checks to make stuff are actually very fucking hard.
Damn.
Very rigid.
Because I believe when you attempt to make it and you fail, the materials are just lost. Alright, so. Last time on DBZ in Lilthan. After reaching the Pearl City of Galena and exploring around the slave markets and also meeting a very questionable UNT had run a privatized inn with a bunch of goblin slaves that seemed very well trained and also quickly had provided you with as much service as possible. Gave you a very strange feeling, though you could tell he was interested in most of you, but probably not in a very good way. And also mentioned the arena would be a good way of grabbing attention in this city if you would ever wish to have a meeting with Galena herself. Upon seeing the arena and all the gnolls, lizardmen, other such creatures about it, as well as seeing across the way the varying amounts of UNT, and some in true purity, others definitely lowborn. All interestingly watching the fight as you saw the different brawlers and arena representatives, especially from Barisi and Galgron. Galgrons, you heard, were poor. The one man who was fighting seemed fairly reliable. Keshi had gone up against 3 of Barisi's and stood her ground extremely well, and also utilized the arena to the fullest extent, and launching one of the men and putting a good show on and making a huge blood splash spill out as he flew into one of the spinning blades that were on the arena sides. As you were tentative in the arena and being respectful to Zarissa, you could see that she had paid a little more attention at the fact that Keshi was respectful and acknowledged the arena master first instead of just fighting as most slaves had. After which, if collecting your new winnings, after putting down 200 and getting 1,000 out each, Arjun and Velnek, you were heading back, decided against going back to the inn with the questionable UNT who had been observing you interestedly, but decided to go to the Scorpion's Rest Inn, after which you were accosted by the gnolls that you had previously bought the other slaves from with fake gold, and you could tell by the burn marks that they definitely found the original path marks that you were at before the explosion that Flora had left with explosive runes went off. After having a small skirmish in the street in the Pearl City, you could hear guards approaching on the creatures that they had been riding. Now we are back at this point where you're surrounded by the various dead goblin slaves and the other gnolls who tried to assault you. You do have a some time before the guards reach you, but you could see them approaching.
We have nothing to hide.
What?
These men accosted us in the street. I'm not afraid to talk to them.
So as they ride up, you could see the very lanky-looking animals quickly bucking back and forth and running up. They can you could see them look at all of you as they're about to say what happened here, and they see all the different gnolls. And the first thing out of the guard's mouth is like, oh, because as he looks around, he sees all the different looking faces, and then sees Argent.
Yes.
As you could tell his tone was about to be very serious and harsh until he got to you, Arjun. A squabble over slaves, my lady.
Wow, you're a very good guesser.
Right. Don't worry about it. We'll get these vagrants cleaned up quickly for you.
See to it that you do. I can't believe they respect me so much. Alright. Telepathically, let's continue on to the Scorpid's Rest Inn.
Sounds good.
So, as you're heading out, you can see the two guards that did arrive quickly get off their mounts, and they start handling the different bodies, tracking them all together. You can see them getting ready to collect them all and just carrying them out of the city to whatever refuse or shallow grave that you assume they would probably be sticking these bodies in.
Whatever refuse or shallow grave. Holy shit.
That's how they do.
I just like the or shallow grave.
So, as you come to the Scorpid's Rest Inn,
before we go,
yes,
I want to slip them 5 platinum and say, best we not speak of this, lest others hear of honored guests being assaulted in the streets and the guards' lack of response time. Deal?
Of course.
You just gave him like a 2 years patience. They're gonna like fight to the death over that middling platinum. You just gained 2 guards at an even amount of money.
Well,
yeah, well,
depends on
that's
how
for
many
them to
others show
decide.
up. Yeah.
Not my problem.
Yeah. 5 more guards died last night. What? It seems like they all just killed each
guards
other.
dying. That's good for us.
Metal Gear.
But they take in. You could tell them. You could tell they're all very hush. As the others arrive, you could see them handing out like. Two more guards arrive, and you can see them handing out 1 platinum each to them as you're heading out.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell like it's all mum is the word amongst them.
I'm sure this kind of thing happens probably very frequently in the city, or things like it. So
yeah. You can tell, even though there's parts of the city that look very nice, it's very clear that there's a fair share amount of
dirty dealings.
Yeah, squabble and skullduggery.
Looking back on it, Josh, our official assignment was just to gather information, right? Not to execute every single snake person that lives here, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'm just making sure I didn't remember that. I guess, yeah, he doesn't really seem like the kind of man that'd be like, alright, execute every sentient creature that looks like a snake.
I thought that was our mission. Was it just to gather information?
I mean, that was like our unofficial interpretation of the mission, is we were just gonna walk in and bag them.
Obviously, I don't think that's feasible. But I thought we would, gather information, assassinate a couple people, and then set some slaves free on our way out. Does that seem feasible?
Well, my current idea is, let's see if we can find somebody tomorrow that's a little bit, how we say, more in the know. If we can restrain him, I can get honest answers out of him. And that might be enough.
What about that innkeeper? He was kind of suspicious anyway, and we could just kill him after.
Are you sure he'd know enough for it to be worth the risk? Because we'd probably want to leave very shortly after we do this. My interrogation technique is not exactly pleasant.
So someone higher up, you're saying?
Yes, well, we'll have to look around tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you for telepathy for allowing us to have as evil of a conversation as we want. While we go anywhere.
Oh yeah, that's the beauty of it. Nobody ever hears it. Yeah. So, as you have this conversation on the way, you finally come to the Scorpion's Rest. You can see all different types of hired slaves per se. There seems to be orcs tending to the different animals that people have rode in on. You can tell what seems like humans that from the ones that you had rescued earlier. More of them here at this place, all with very intricate jewelry made to look a little more flashy and tempting. Basically, just making them into a very strange, provocative eye candy for those who desire more riches in taste. As you enter in, you actually do see it looks like a lizard. From what you could tell in your assumption, is a lizard folk. As this person looks up to you, and it's very strange, as it's a very effeminate sounding voice with a growling hiss behind it. Welcome to the Scorpion's Rest. How many rooms do you require, my lady?
Telepathically. Who wants their own room? Do we all want our own rooms?
I'm fine.
I'm not concerned which room I stay in.
Me and Flora could share a room.
How many rooms do you have available?
We have 3 right now, as we had a few recent guests, so I hope that's not an issue.
Alright, we'll take 3.
Very good. As at this point, you can see her just hold up what looks like a small silver bell and just jingle it a little. As you can see her pick this up almost daintily in a fashion. You can see that her entire hand and claws have been completely decorated in what seems like silver and pearls. As well as different kind of jewelry and heavy silver garb and other, over-the-top kind of fashions to decorate herself.
Wow, I really picked out a very nice place.
So as the other slaves quickly come and that tend to any baggage you have and start showing you your way to your rooms. Upon entering in, you get to see all different kinds of silks and fresh-smelling incense in these rooms. Everything very vibrant and colorful. Everything very heavy in smells of incense. Many different kinds of flowers and potpourri. Seems very over the top, but you can also tell that this isn't very far from the palace either.
Oh.
As you come into your bedrooms, you can tell they're more designed towards probably the lords and lordesses of these lands, as their beds are more of a very large pile of pillows for anyone to kind of lay upon, and just what seems like very thinly made silk curtains to just kind of give some semblance of privacy.
She must really trust that we're exceptionally rich because she didn't even, like, ask for money.
It's pretty much easy to tell by your face what she's going on.
Yeah, okay. I figured as much. I have a line of credit.
Your credits precede you.
Your public credits are no good here.
That'd be hilarious if we were like using money, like human money or something. What is this?
We only deal in large red gemstones.
All I got is this $1 US.
What the fuck is a US dollar?
I swear it's worth 6 gemstones. I swear. Don't look it up.
I guess everybody get up at around dawn. Or however long we all end up sleeping.
Pretty much like the crack of dawn.
Very well. I feel like we should try to get that audience, you know, the whole point of the arena thing, and perhaps we can interrogate someone in the palace.
Let's think about that.
Okay.
So, as the dawn comes, you brought a assortment of different foods, mixtures between fruit, different kinds of fruits, some very very heavily flavored dates, and not too much meat, but what seems like a modest amount. And the slave in your room, Argent, when she arrives, just informs you, like, the cost of each of the rooms and service is only 20 gold per room.
I just hand her a platinum.
Thank you. Well, thank you. And she quickly bows out.
Just gotta fucking flash cash.
You could tell that it's not going to be any worry at all, and they're going to be very quick to get you services, especially handing out platinum. So, as the morning rolls around, you can all enjoy your breakfasts. Flora, do you enjoy the view overlooking outside, or do you just stand still in the room most of the night?
I mean, I just stand in the corner.
Alright.
You're like a suit of armor.
It is good to know. Flora, from when you do stand in the corner, even though the balconies there do have their silk curtains, you can see the different slaves going by. Obviously, all the balconies are multi-connected, and it just makes it easier for the slaves to move in and out very quietly and provide services without disruption of having to open doors all the time. It's very easy to assume from the people you see walking back and forth there that it's pretty much that's the slave's entryway, and anyone else of respectable stature would definitely use the door. So you have the early morning. You can hear what sounds like a percussion of marching footsteps. Anyone who looks out the window, you could see what looks like a small group of UNT soldiers marching through the city early morning. You could see many of the other riders and guards quickly getting off their mounts and taking a knee before all these UNT soldiers. even though they themselves walk on 2 legs and obviously are not of the highest quality considerably to what other UNTs are, these soldiers are obviously still far more respected than the common low guard of the city.
We understand how their hierarchy works. Basically, the more you look like a snake, the higher in status you are.
Pretty much. And if you even have like the lower body of a snake, you're probably royalty.
Mm-hmm.
And you also got those like scale colors, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The racial hierarchy.
The beautiful hues and mixtures of gold and such. But you definitely take note. You didn't see any UNT soldiers marching around. It seems like they go through the entire city just to make sure order is in place in the morning, and then return to the palace. So, on your second day in the Pearl City, you can see all is calm for now. Any endeavors you wish to seek out?
So everyone, what do you all think should be the plan for today? I would say we may be so bold as to request an audience.
I don't feel that we've impressed them enough for the audience to go well, though.
Maybe if the request was by messenger and the messenger bared some sort of gift. Instantly, the scene from Aladdin's like flashing in my mind.
Make way!
How much are elephants? 200 gold?
That shit popped up on my autoplay, and I was so annoyed. Just... Our goal is to acquire information about them. I feel that we don't really need an audience to do that. It might just make it worse.
I feel like anyone in the palace is going to be in the know.
Well, then do we really need an audience with the current ruler to talk to people that are in the palace?
I was under the assumption that yes, that was the case. And not the ruler, right, Josh? Wasn't it the other chick?
Yes.
Or was she the ruler?
She's the daughter of Galena. She makes basically the decision on who has presence with her mother.
Yeah, so the daughter, we could get a meeting with her. Think of the information we could glean from someone such as her. Or, if we can't, someone even a little bit lower would probably know much of everything we want to know.
Because what we're hoping to glean is obviously we want to know plans for expansion, if they plan on lashing out against, well, if they even know that our civilization exists. That's an important step.
Yes. How much do they know about us, and what are their plans for us, if any?
But I feel that we might actually make things worse if we,
We could try to rope up a captain of the General Guard, but I feel like he's not going to know as much as someone in the leadership would know.
We could just look for an information broker. This is a rather seedy town. I've read that you can find those in places that are this awful.
The act of us wanting this information is going to be information that this guy will resell.
Oh, so you're suggesting we go talk to the awful and seedy man that we met yesterday?
Who?
I thought you were suggesting we go and talk to that. Callistra was his name. It looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't, it doesn't fit him in my mind. Well,
Is that the innkeeper? Who is that?
Yeah,
that was the innkeeper that acted really shifty and wanted us to come stay at his inn.
Whoever we ask questions to can't be allowed to live, because if we ask someone, hey, what do you know about the human town like 4 miles away? Not 4 miles, but you know what I mean. They'll take that information and use it against us.
I feel that if they knew that it existed... Well, okay, let's rewind a little bit. How did we know that there was a settlement in the desert in the first place? That contained these people. Searched for the place that the lizard man that we chased into the bogs came from, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is where he came from. He appeared to be a lot more of a tribal sort, right?
He did.
I suspect that they're probably either some kind of an assassin under the lead of the ruler of the town, or they're like an outcast faction here. But we need to learn the distinction to be able to ask about them.
I suppose we could start with that.
Because aren't those people the actual threat?
Yes. Although this civilization is a threat no matter what. They're enslaving people, and I'm sure if they knew of our people, they would try to enslave us.
Yeah. Well, we could just ask the innkeeper here if she knows anybody we can talk to. She seems impressed with me. As does half this town for some reason.
I'm okay with that. We have to choose our words very carefully, otherwise we'll have to kill them.
Yeah, I don't think I want to kill the owner of this inn. That sounds like a really bad idea. Let's think. Choosing my words carefully. These are questions I should ask the Queen earlier. If the amber is some kind of addictive substance as well.
Oh, the Callistra did have a fine selection of opium.
But he didn't bring out any amber when we asked for one of everything?
No.
Okay.
Those were the assortment of smokes.
Yeah, no, but I figured that he might have like brought out some kind of like weird ass amber related food. But okay. Just something tells me you're going about this the wrong way.
What about you other two? You've been quiet. Any input on what we should do or how we should go about this?
Yeah, Brad, you know about slaves.
Don't talk about my past like that. How could you do that to me? That's traumatic. I immediately down 4 pints of ale.
Oh, well, they're conforming.
Oh, barrel man.
Get an opinion?
I think we're at a severe disadvantage in this city. Unfortunately, I don't think we should cause as much commotion.
So you're thinking that forced interrogation should definitely be off the table?
Probably. Okay. We don't need to be the. If something goes wrong, we don't need to be the center of the attention here. Would not bode well for us.
All right, let's open up Argent's bag of magic items. Let's have a look. Do I have anything that's helpful here? Unsurprisingly, no. Well, not too helpful. I guess. That's technically a lie, but I am really good at lying. Let me just go check something really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on. That doesn't apply to bluff checks? What a useless power. Alright, well, I'm gonna go talk to the innkeeper.
I will be nearby.
Alright. So, as you go to return, and you find Callistra in his typical courtyard.
No, I meant the innkeeper at our building.
Oh.
Not that guy. I'm not going to that guy yet.
Alright. So, when you go and find the innkeeper there, you could see her tending to her books, looking around. You can hear her hissing.
Josh?
I was just reading, son. As you could tell, she's giving out different orders to different slaves as they go. And sometimes it's a hiss, and then other times it's a very, very calm order. My lady, please. May I be of service?
I'm looking for some information regarding this city. Something that may not be easily acquired. Is there do you have anybody recommended that I could go talk to? You probably know this city a lot better than I do. I haven't been here too often.
I got whispered by a fucking host with the flag on it.
Oh no!
That's the best, Josh. Don't change
I forgot I had that on. So, well, there's definitely some information brokers around. I know that it's tougher to choose the finer slaves. They know which batch is more reliant for what you're seeking.
Yeah, speaking of which, I happen to prefer the smooth-skinned people that look kind of a lot like me but have the darker skin.
Not many of those, my lady. Those would be fairly expensive. If you were going to find any of those, you would most likely find them with Parisi in the higher markets.
Good to know. So, no recommendations? Should I just try everywhere?
I would definitely recommend Parisi if you're looking for those kinds of slaves. Though if
No, for the information. I'll take your slave recommendation.
for the information. Well, there's Odrist. He is a more free guard. He's definitely gained the ear of many of the others.
Well, That sounds like a excellent start. Where do I find this odorist as I pull out another platinum and have it between my fingers?
So, you see the smile creep across her face, and he'll be more towards the slave pen areas in between the line there and the markets. There's a more back alley house, but no one really goes down there unless they know what they're looking for.
Put it down on the counter and push it towards her. Thank you.
My lady. And you can see the inkling on her face. Obviously, she's going to be hushed tone.
Mm-hmm. All right. That's about the best. That's the best lead I actually thought we'd get.
What? So.
Belknap, Flora, come on.
I'm on my way. There's a fireplace nearby me, right, Josh?
Here, yes.
Okay.
So,
I toss that in there.
What? Toss what in there?
A piece of paper.
So, you head out, and you go to find this little half alley. As you're going by, you can see that there's pretty definitive lines going in between the districts between higher and lower citizen and slave of this city. When you come to the slave pen area, where it's building upon building upon building, tightly packed upon each other, many different winding and turning alleys. You can tell going into this section of the city would be a venerable labyrinth in itself. Just at the edge of where the slave markets are, as mentioned, you see one alleyway, distinctly cut off from everything. There's even a wall built up from the slave pens going up to a very distinct cliff rock face, and the rest going up behind it is just very, very sharp. And one very run-down but modest-looking hovel with a very, very old-looking mount that you'd seen the other city guards have. Clearly not in any condition to be in battle. Just you could tell it's seen some weathered years, and you could see the whiskers on its face are very old and gray, kind of like how you see a dog's. It even has the small gray patches around its face as it kind of sits there lazily grazing and going back and forth between the trough and all that. You can tell it's almost like they just you can tell it's almost like nobody wanted to acknowledge this house exists.
Okay, so before we start to talk to this, he was called Oligerd?
Odrist.
Odrist, okay. I almost named Witcher.
Oligerd.
Okay. Before we talk to him, now, if considering the layout of this house and the fact that there seems to be no security, probably just depends on the goodwill of people that come here. If things start to go south, I can force him to answer 3 questions. And then everything beyond that is up in the air. I hope it doesn't come to that, but I feel that our questions themselves will prove to be valuable information for the people that he will sell it to.
Yes. We can't let information about our town get out.
So I will try to choose my questions carefully.
I mean, we could always kill him.
I mean, Argent's not super into murder.
Argent, this people here, they are the enemy. They have declared war on our people. Just by hostile intent and killing our scouts.
Chemical weapons have been found.
Chemical weapons. They violated the treaty.
WMDs. Do you know what that means?
Metal Gear. Anyways, Argent, don't worry. If you don't have the stomach for it, I'll bash him in the head. It'll be neat and quick.
Alright.
I knock on the dude's door.
Now he's gonna be like making tea and like petting several like stray dogs, like have their tails missing. Good boy, Spot, and like he's like blind and like running into a wall.
Don't do it. Who's that at the door? Must be the orphans I donate money to every day.
He's like missing an eye and has no legs. He's in like a wheelchair.
So, as the door opens, you see a very haggard, old-looking man, skin very tan, weather-beaten. You can see the tribal tattoos that line his skin, very worn down and very discolored from age. As you can see the long gray and white hair going down his back, and he's missing one arm, and you can see on his hip he still has his service sword. Obviously very beaten up, but still on his hip. Can I help you?
You knocked on the door, but you still want me to talk to him. Good move, Kashi.
I live to serve, my lady.
I swear I'm gonna turn off telepathy one of these days. Good afternoon. I received a recommendation that you might be able to help us with an issue that we're having. See, we're new around town and we're lacking the proper knowledge.
You can see he looks down the alley and then he looks up at the walls to each side of his hovel.
I'm more surprised he isn't suspicious of me, considering everybody else seems to think I'm from that family.
Yeah, you can tell he's not even worried about you. He's kind of looking everywhere else, like expecting something far worse to come around the corner. As he, you can see him lick his lips for a moment as he studies you over. Alright, if you're coming in, just you though. As he kind of like eyes like Velnek, Keshi, and Flar very, very warily.
You eyes me warily, huh? It's I know the reason.
It's the ghetto, it's, you know, it's in a secluded area. He sees the black man with a large bow, wielding it sideways.
Excuse me, sir. Surely you would not deprive my lady of her bodyguard. I can stand off to the side, but I have to go in with her.
As he kind of licks his lips, very, very dryly.
As you can see, she is unarmed.
All I have is my walking stick.
Make a diplomacy +2.
Here, Kashi.
Yeah, Argent. Not
Keshi.
me.
Keshi.
Okay, fine.
It's on you.
I know.
You shouldn't have talked first. I was about to negotiate.
So you can see him studying you carefully, but as he looks to Argent, he gets like the inkling of, you know, the petite form that she's not really a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. Come in. As he opens the door wide for both of you.
I step through.
So
I'd like to make a quick eyeball of his inner house, looking for, you know, peepholes, traps, other defenses, guards.
Go ahead and
If
make
I
a
may.
perception.
Okay. Fuck.
Looking around, you're still suspicious just because, like, you know, there's still the, you know, one or two regal pieces of silk and other such things that hang down, but, it looks like he's thoroughly bricked, like, everything off. Anything that could have been a crack or a hole, it's been mortared in, and, you can tell there's actually not even a window in here. And that everything's actually been lit by, like, either low sconce light or very strange looking orbs that have been kind of set around the room.
Okie dokie.
Do I recognize these as glow globes?
Yes.
Good.
Please, have a seat. Now, as he closed the door, you can see he goes to make a gesture, and the part of his arm that is missing is pretty much all the way up to the base of his shoulder. And as he comes over and he has a seat and pours out a respectful glass of wine for each of you, and sits there, takes a sip himself to wet his throat. How can I be of service to one of the ladies of the city?
Okay, I'm making sure I word this question very carefully. I probably should have thought about this earlier. Okay, telepathic Takeshi. What exactly should we try first?
Perhaps you could ask where they get their slaves and if they have any new prospects on where to get new slaves.
That's actually
Subtle.
a good idea. I was curious if the slave markets are an always evolving prospect, as I've seen. Do you have any word on where they might be looking towards getting new slaves as they, the current populations dwindle?
You can see he looks back and forth to both of you, and kind of raises an eyebrow curiously as to why you're coming to him for this, but usually there's the walking city that people boldly attack some of the farms and take my fellow people from where I've come from.
Oh, he's actually one of them?
I had that suspicion telepathically, I say.
For those unfortunate to get captured, it's usually by the traveling nomads. There's a few other lizard folk that travel out there and are bold enough to attack these farms, but their numbers are far stronger than the gnolls usually. Gnolls have always attacked quickly, though they usually seem to have the healthier ones, since they make it quick. It's more of a shock attack, and they are able to take their stock alive and uninjured. If you're looking for more workhorse kind of people, the jungles provide a good amount of heavy lifting orc bodies. If you're looking for someone for just menial tasks for a small house, the gnolls usually find copious amounts of goblins from the caves in the deserts.
Well, the fact that you didn't mention the other people rings good, considering that he probably would have mentioned them along with the traveling cities, considering they look a lot like them. You said roaming bands of lizard folk? I haven't seen very many of them.
They're usually sticking very close to the farms of the walking city. They'll usually not bother to travel until they have a plan, from what I've experienced.
Do they have any central hubs, or are they just like the gnolls? They just wander the deserts and come in to trade in slaves.
Yeah. Looking to take out competition, my lady?
More of a buy directly from the source, one could say.
Oh. If that's what you're interested in, then generally, from what I experienced when I used to fight back against them, was usually the worst was when they would come in droves during sandstorms and scoop people out of their houses without being seen, and then quickly race back into the desert and have their tracks covered. Usually it doubled back, and it was almost impossible to track them.
Telepathically, I say to Argent, what's your read on this guy so far?
I just assumed he was telling the truth.
Do you think he could be a potential ally? If he was of the Walking City people, and he has somehow earned his freedom, perhaps he bears still a grudge. Maybe he hates this city for taking his arm. I don't know.
What's the gaydar really saying on him?
He doesn't appear to be an ally of the city, considering his reaction and his suspicion when we came to the door with me. I'm gonna try being honest with him.
Very well.
Sir, we rescued several of the people of the Walking City from the slavers earlier. We actually met them. I'm actually not really here to buy slaves. I was just... Mostly, we're here to deal with the lizard folk.
At this point, you could tell he's studying you very, very closely. Almost in disbelief.
Also, although it may make you think less of me, I'm actually not related at all to those snake people. I'm actually an elf. Although that probably means nothing to you.
In all honesty, I have no idea what an elf is.
Alright then.
You could tell there's still some suspicion, even though you could tell you're telling the truth. You've come here willingly, no less, to deal with issues of this city.
Yes. It is for the greater good of their peoples and our own that we're here.
What do you know, exactly?
Well, when we rescued your people from the, slavers, they took us to one of their gardens that summons the, Walking City if you turn the dial. We met the Queen of Sacrifice. That was interesting.
So you actually bothered to go that far?
Yes. It was well worth it, I'd say.
I didn't think that bitch was still even real.
I assure you, she was very real and rather frightening.
From what I heard as a child, I'm sure. I heard she was a hulking monstrosity like her king.
Argent, at the end of all this, perhaps one of our questions should be, are you going to turn us into the, authorities here?
Keshi, I don't feel like he's a friend of the authorities, considering his suspicion on the walls when he opened the door.
Right. I mean, just for, assurance, 100%, you could force him to answer that question?
Well, if you restrained him, yes, I could. See,
It's just something to mull over. I just want to be 100% sure.
So, anyways, to be clear, our main goal here is, well, I'd like to deal with the gnolls, but I feel the gnolls are a bigger problem. The lizard folk we might be able to deal with easier for right now. I'm trying to locate where they come from. At least around here.
For the gnolls, they have traveling nomads. The main city I've never seen. They've always hid it well and seem to keep moving it. As for the lizards, there's a large cave system. You'd be suicide to attack that.
Well, just capturing one of them leaving will probably be enough for our tastes. Just truth be told, people that I want to answer questions can't lie to me, so.
So you go out to have information more detailed about this.
Yes, telling us where they come from should be more than enough. We can interrogate one ourselves.
Well, it's further to the south of the city. There are caves guarded. It goes through the jagged mountains here. Some say it leads to the temple, but no one's seen it for a while. They're not very sure what awaits in there.
Wait, the cave leads to the temple?
Some believe it. I think it just leads to a pit of lizard folk who had taken up residence there.
These lizard folk, they take orders from the Yuan-Ti here, correct?
Yes. I usually see one rider heading out. Though it would be very hard pressed to keep speed with him.
Oh, you haven't seen our ride.
Another question I wanted to ask you. Did you want to return to the Flying City? I can smuggle you out if you want.
I would never even let me near the front gate without killing me.
Oh,
Why is that?
He points to the arm. They know who I am.
oh, actually, they won't.
What?
Let me see. Turns around and starts looking in her bag. Pulls out a potion. This makes you look like somebody else for 5 minutes.
We should probably elaborate. What do you mean they know who you are? Have you taken their people too? Your people? Are you a traitor to your kind?
Oh, my people, no. They had suspicion that I had started freeing my people. I couldn't prove it, but still as a punishment to suspicion, they took my shield off. After that, nobody of the slave pens wished to have me nearby, and none of the slaves wanted to even speak with me, as they would lose an arm themselves. Anyone else who comes down this alley is of their own volition, but nobody really cares, as they know that, well, as far as they know, I'm just a crazed old man who sits there waiting to die.
I am serious about this offer, though.
You could see him mulling it over very, very carefully. And if I were to get out,
You're free to go. I don't hold slaves. That's all an act. We take you back to that tower thing that, lets you call the walking city, and aside from that, you're free to go do whatever.
Where did you even come from?
I guess that's door number 2. You can come live with us.
I'm not like any of the people in these lands.
But door number 2 also requires that we leave first and we be far away from everybody else, because door number 2 is a touchy subject.
You could tell he's taking a very, very long, hard thought about this.
I'm glad I bought these fucking potions. I'm gonna smuggle this man out of here.
You can see him actually hold a hand out for the potion.
I'll hand it to him. I'll warn you, I only have 2, so if you want to test it now, you only have one other one.
As he stares long and hard.
There is a third option.
He peeks out from his old gray hair and like, what would that be?
You stay here and be our man on the inside for when we bring utter destruction to these people and free the slaves.
Telepathically, come on, Kashi. This man's lived as an outcast in a fucking corner his entire life.
Maybe he would die happy knowing that he fulfilled a greater purpose. Do you still have fight left in those old bones?
Why do you think I'm still alive here?
That speaks volumes. We were assaulted in the market. Ourselves.
As he leans back, you can see him cupping this potion in his hand, just giving the longest, deepest thought on this matter. I will remain here. If I may hold on to this potion, and I will repay you if I can. In my service and keeping an ear to the ground.
Yes, a little bit more of details on that. When you drink it, it will hurt a lot. And the thing you are looking at, you will duplicate perfectly. You will look like them, and you will gain their voice. Just be careful about it.
I have a few ideas of who I could do that for, and be able to slip out when needed.
Alright.
Well, the question is, what do you really need? As he kind of sets the potion down on the table in front and looks at you a little more seriously this time. I'm sure it's more than just roving bands that collect slaves.
Well, roving bands that collect slaves are an extension of the threat to our peoples.
Well, they are.
Is that one of them murdered a lot of people from our civilization in a scouting party with their amber darts.
Ultimately, though, they're just the hounds. It's their masters that we also seek to end.
Well, the master's head would be a far more difficult task.
Which is why we're fine with snuffing out the hounds. For now.
I do err on the side of caution, though, when you're out there. As scorpion people. Don't know what they call themselves, but if you see one, don't even fucking approach them. They'll cut you in half and immediately start eating you.
A scorpion person sounds absolutely terrifying.
Yes, I have no interest in a person that will snap me in half.
It'd be wise to keep full distance of that. Nonetheless, I do think err on the side of caution. Come to visit me too many times, you'll start gaining an eye.
We probably won't be coming back here many more times. We have a few other matters to attend to in the area, and we're probably going to go deal with the lizards.
I wish you luck with that. I'll be anticipating good words.
Oh, and one more thing. I'll take out another potion. This one will let you walk. It will let you phase through material for 6 seconds. If you ever find yourself in a corner, you can quite literally run through the wall. This one doesn't hurt.
That will definitely be useful.
Just giving this man all these armaments.
Might I have your name, lady?
I'm Argent. And this is Keshi.
Oh.
I guess we ought to be going.
Watch the walls on the way out.
I will. Thank you very much. We hope we can meet terms again in the future.
And just know, no matter what happens, if something befalls you, your people will know what you did for us.
It'd be nice to know that they at least heard of me one last time.
I'm honestly surprised this man didn't just want to fuck off back to the city. I guess he'd probably be re-entering society as a peasant.
Yeah, what would he have to go back to? God knows how long he's been here.
I mean, if I was that dude, I would be harboring a whole lot of
fucking wrath.
Yeah, wrath against these bastards and having to live among them. It's like, I don't know. Being an old dude about to die, I'd totally go take some with me, you know?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, can I insight this dude and also Ardent? Because I just want to get a feel for if he's like immediately run to the cops and make a quick buck.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll insight.
Argent's too trusting. I'm not rolling insight.
Ah.
You can tell he's genuinely thinking about all this and looks fairly eager to go along with it. You can see a small spark in his eye.
Okay. Well then, Keshi won't suggest holding him down and forcing him to answer that question.
Answer me! Where's the slaves?
Where are they?
Alright, Flora and Velnak, it was successful. It went a lot better than I thought it would.
As you
It's good to hear.
as you step out, you can see what looks like various goblins peeking out over the walls.
Weird man's peeking over the wall.
This city has eyes and ears. We should be on our way.
Yeah, let's make haste.
It's a shame he didn't have any information we were after.
That's a real shame. As misinformed as always. Spit on the ground as I'm leaving.
Roll deception checks.
What the fuck?
You mean bluff?
Yeah, fucking bluffs. Roll bluffs. That's good.
Do I need to as well?
Yeah, just go for it. Just go. Fucking. Alright, see. Luckily the goblins are as dumb as they look, and they're just like, and they just all start running off.
So, we now have the location of where the lizard men hang out. I move that, I feel that we should go and possibly buy a couple more of the slaves from the, walking city. And we should take those back with us. And also, let's go capture one of the lizard men and force him to answer a bunch of questions.
Sounds like a great plan.
I also gained information that there's usually a writer that heads out there too.
Yeah, I think you cut out for part of that because I barely heard the word rider at one part.
Is it a rider that, like, ferries orders between the Yonti and the lizardmen, or what?
Yeah, that's what he was hinting at.
Oh, that's like fucking Argent's eyes turned to dollar signs level of good.
Did we get information about the times or the route or what?
No times or route. It's easy to assume it's probably whenever Galena, wills in order or something, or even just needs to refill stock, probably.
Yeah.
So I guess there's no schedule we can depend on, because I was hoping we could just...
That would be a jewel to interrogate.
hang out in the desert and I knock him out. Then I use the adamantine shackles. We have a nice brief questioning session.
It's nice out, really, just really hot, right?
This area, the way the caverns catch the wind, it's actually really nice because the way the wind rolls is straight over the Dragon Mountains and then down into a nice cool draft.
Alright. Because I was worried the entire time they were just talking to the man in there. I'm just fucking dying.
Yeah, you're baking in the sun.
So, what do we want to do first?
Well, seeing as we just left, I just want to go find something to eat.
Yeah, I guess let's go have some lunch. That's a good idea.
Sure.
Alright.
And while we're in the market, we could grab those slaves to take back with us.
Indeed you can.
He said that Barisi had the fucking cash money slaves, right?
Yes, Barisi is the one with the best quality slaves and the most likely one to have the majority of the walking city slaves.
Now, Argent, and I know you don't like these plans, but could we perhaps get to a secluded location with this seller and kill him and take all of his slaves? And we could walk out of the...
So my morality issue doesn't apply.
Well, if it's possible, perhaps we can... Obviously, we can't kill them in the middle of the market, but perhaps we can guide them to their compound or something and just walk out with the slaves, because people buy slaves all the time.
Well, I'll have to wait and see. It's a good thing we all have telepathy.
Yes. I do love these conversations.
Telepathy for the win, baby. Don't have to have secret combos.
I feel like it's the underrated thing of 4E is that everybody can get telepathy super easily.
Telepathy.
As you're all walking around, each of you roll me a perception real quick.
All 900 perception rolls. Here we go.
Everybody who's not an elf gets +1.
I call racism.
It's also racist against myself, so.
Racist specifically against me. A dark elf.
Plus.
I've had 5 rolls, all under 10.
Holy shit.
Fuck my life, and Belknap's broken.
Alright.
Don't worry about it.
So, just about everyone except fucking Flora as probably see something that looks like amber in the distance in the markets.
Somebody's selling amber. I'm tuning up to that. I want to. If they're selling, I want to buy some.
You see someone. Obviously, they're a lot farther away.
What do my elf say?
Oh no! It's her.
Oh fuck! Oh fuck!
She's roaming this city, looking around. Everyone's giving her a pretty wide berth as she's holding the head of one of the UNT guards.
Telepathically, abort mission, abort mission.
Abort!
Stealth check. Stealth check.
Wait, she killed one of them?
Yeah.
Maybe she can be helpful here.
It's come to my attention. I am very tall.
Yeah. And very colorfully dressed.
Oh no.
I feel I am a bit visible. Anyone
Why
looking for?
Why don't we go into this alleyway for a couple minutes? Come on.
So you all dip into the alleyway and she goes by.
I'm not going in the alleyway.
Is there a reason we are
Come on.
standing in here?
Drop your arm. Come on, Velmac, come on.
What's wrong, man?
She's crazy, Belknap.
Don't put your dick in crazy.
Come on, let's talk about this for a second before we go and talk to her. Obviously, she can be useful.
Talk-
Come on.
Talk to who?
I'm just gonna
Crazy heart lady.
I'm just gonna like do like the brush off the arm and be like, no, I wanna go check out the shop, and then like I keep walking away.
Alright, so
Oh dear.
as you could see after a few seconds of her traveling down, you having this this small squalor.
I assume like the way it went was, guess she's already in the alley. It's
Probably.
Yeah, I'm trying to drag you into the alleyway, and since I'm weak as fuck, you pretty much just brush me off.
Well, listen, buddy, I gotta go check out this stall. There's like illegal danishes over here, and I never see those.
Illegal danishes.
So, as she sees you, Brad, she sees the rest of the group. She actually approaches. An interesting way to get to me here.
Oh. Yeah.
Is Keshi still in the open?
Probably not.
I mean, what did everyone do? I thought we went down an alley.
I didn't.
I tried to drag Velmac into an alleyway, so I'm.
I would have just immediately asked Argent, like, what do we do? Do we follow him or go into the alley?
Well, he obviously went to go talk to her, so I guess let's just go talk to her.
Oh, okay. Then I guess we went to talk to her.
Alright. So yeah, her eyes kind of glance over to Kesh for a
Oh
moment.
no.
You can see her grit her teeth.
Oh. It's you.
Oh no, somebody ate this entire Euro fries. One of these dogs is gonna die.
Oh, I missed. So it's been a long time. Haven't seen you in 3 to 5 weeks.
Yes. Since we have a brief reprieve of privacy, as she steps close and snaps her fingers for a moment, you feel what almost feels like a way of dispelling, and anything that was going on around you's probably gone now. Unfortunately, the bug does die.
The bug.
Rest in peace, bug.
I salute
He was-
the brave bug.
He was there since the beginning.
He was our founding father.
He was building up his little bug army.
He was getting so close, he had a whole arm. But as she looks around now,
Well, speak freely.
I have no respect for these worms. As she kind of holds up the head of one of the lower UNT soldiers that she clearly killed.
It's very obvious you do what you want. I can respect that.
I intend to have a lot more fun in this town. As she kind of throws the head to the side. But of course, you have the most interest.
I have the most interest of you?
Of course.
Oh.
You succeeded in one of my mother's missions, the group of you. As she kind of like starts walking around all of you now.
Telepathically, I think she forgot I totally insulted her. Do you think she forgot?
Well, it has been a while. Maybe she just, just can't remember.
Nobody mention it.
I don't know, or maybe she just has such important things going on, she doesn't really think about things like that.
Me.
So, what brings you here?
I figured
You,
she was bored.
Oh, you thought she was bored, so you invited her over, Velnak. Very, very foresightful of you.
Yes, my mother thought I would have fun, and then without mind, always sent me here. She glares at Valnak.
Come on, get up here.
Though I must say, information must be bought. As she kind of glances back over to Keshi. I think I could forgive that transgression over accosting me from my other interests. As she glares over to Valnak again.
What did Vilnak do? I'm confused.
So as she
Or has it not been, known to the rest of us?
she hasn't said what it was yet, but she said she got sent here forcefully
Oh, okay.
by her,
Got sent here forcefully.
yeah, by her mother.
I'd shoot.
So tell me, tall, dark, and dumb,
No.
why I shouldn't, as she grabs the front piece of your chest armor and pulls you closer, shouldn't melt you down to the pitiful piss and ash you are right now. As she kind of raises one of her forearms to you could easily tell what seems like a fireball pointed at your face as Raziel's hissing and ready to claw at her.
She seems mad.
That's okay.
Velnak, do you want me to step in, or do you got this?
Vilnak,
Oh,
what
God,
did you
what
do?
was the guy's name in the arena?
The Red King's servant? Or Red King's guard.
God, are you going to enter her into the fucking arena?
Oh, you're telling
I
her
feel
about
like
the
that's cheating.
You're telling her about the Red Kingsguard.
Yeah.
You fucking monster.
I'm gonna tell her. Yeah, because I figure, she's interested in strong people. So why not point her into the place where she might massacre people? What is so it's just a red?
He was just called the Red King's Guard.
Yep.
He's like a member of the Red King's Guard, pretty much.
If I remember right, you had an interest in those that were strong, and I figured this one called the Red King's Guard might interest you.
At this point, she stops lowering her hand with the fireball away from your face, finally.
Yes, Vilnak is much too weak to kill.
She kind of like clicks her teeth together, a little angry, but she still has an interest peaked. If he's not worthy of garnering my attention when I see him,
I hope he's...
just immediate regret for everything that was just done.
That's okay.
Yeah, he's apparently over in the arena area. They've been using him as a what are those things called? Like a climax for the arena. Is there a big card?
We also have heard that Galena's own daughter sometimes enters the arena when interests pique her.
At this, you could see a little head turn, and her eye kind of peeks out towards you, Kesh, after hearing that. The Snakehorror's daughter?
Yeah.
She fancies herself a fighter.
I guess this might amuse me after all. At this point, she finally snuffs out the fire in her hand, and scoops up the back of your armor, Velnak, and then the other arm grabs the back of your pants, and she actually starts carrying you like a fucking suitcase.
We're on our way, I guess. I motion Brazil. Let's go.
Is it really necessary to carry Velnak like that?
At that point, she fires just one fireball at your feet, and you just see all the sand immediately turn to iridescent glass.
All right. Carry him however you wish.
I'm not letting this one out of my eyesight.
I didn't plan on going anywhere.
She gives one hard knee to your ribs and just keeps fucking carrying. Which way to this arena?
That way points in direction of arena.
I'm totally betting a shit ton of money on it.
My entire savings.
100,000 gold. And their eyes are just like, we don't have enough money to pay for that. Of course that weird ass woman can't win.
Send everything! Holy fucking shit, you guys really know how to fucking... Oh my god, it's amazing.
I didn't think she would just force her to go. I thought she would just tell her.
What point of that woman seemed like she would just inform?
I don't know, man. It was funny though.
Holy shit. Alrighty.
So, as we're walking, you saw very confident in what he did. Also, kind of like might go bad, but so he was just like, so I don't know if I would call it research. I don't know what she does.
So, Velnak was
Who are
getting
those
caught part
strange
of your
people
plan?
over there?
Oh
Nice.
shit! There's copies. Get out
No,
of
the
here!
doppelgangers!
Get out of here!
They vanished. We have to track them down. Let's go.
Created a time paradox.
So what's going on? Is she dragging us to the arena?
She's
Well,
dragging.
she's dragging Velnak.
I'm going to
for
the-
safety.
Yeah. You guys could go do whatever you want. I just put you all here for.
Velnak,
I'm following. I want to see this shit.
telepathically though, Velnak, what did you do to piss her off? I must have missed that.
Told her mom.
Oh, you told her mom on her?
I figured we need to cause ruckus in the town. So I told her mom that this town might interest her. And I guess she just said, go.
How do you have communication with her mom?
If you really think about it, she said she just watches us.
And at that point, Kish, you kind of get the inkling of why the demoness kind of snapped her fingers to dispel the area. And you assume it was now you can easily connect. It's probably to dispel whatever scrying there was.
I'm gonna walk there. I assume your other interests have been going well, aside from this.
At this point, as you kind of like instigate it, she drops your front half so your face hits the dirt and keeps dragging you along the way.
Ah. Not well, I see.
Just trying to die, aren't you, Paul?
He's trying to start a conversation.
Yeah, I'm just trying to have pleasant conversation on this,
Don't kill the messenger.
my
Should-
suitcase
should
ride.
put the Rosio right here so that it's a symmetrical diagram.
Ah!
There we go.
So, as she gets to the arena, she's passed by the slave pens, and she did see the Red King. You can see her eyes relax from the fury to one of interest. At this point, she kind of tosses you to the side into the dirt as she goes into the arena area.
Just walks in, huh?
Oh yeah.
She's just gonna start screaming at them.
At this point, she doesn't even wait. She actually gets down into the arena itself.
What a woman.
As she goes around, you can see her call out to Zulus, and she just immediately demands, "Send out the Red King's guard now!"
What a monster!
Come on, let's go take a seat. Flash Zone team.
Come on, splash zone!
Nosebleeders.
Is this really a nosebleed? This seems like prime seating.
Yeah, this is like prime seats, dude.
That's true. Keshi's
This
at the greatest of splash zones. So, at this point, you can see the announcer is like completely fucking lost into what is going on at the moment, as he looks back to Zulus, and she just looks at the demon for a moment and then waves her hand. And
I hope this guy doesn't suck.
we have a new contender for the Red King's Guard.
He's about to fucking crush him, and it's gonna be disappointing.
Who shall leave the red demoness or the king's guard? And at the point, you can hear all of the gnolls kind of rushing, and you actually see most of them kind of like get away from the edges of where the pen opens up for the slaves to come down. As the fucking Red King's guard comes down and squeezes out from the side as Cizalian is fucking pacing back and forth. You could see her pull out both her swords. She has her wand in hand and then the other one readying what looks like different fucking incantations. Fucking Christ, man.
Never thought that this would be the answer, Josh.
This is like it's like those 4 answers on the test, and you made another answer, and then also ran up, punched the teacher, grabbed the answer key, and then also put the answer key on there. It's completely against logic.
Oh my fucking god. So, as I think it really...
Please, for the love of God, be a challenge.
Oh my fucking god. Fucking... Just... Fucking... I don't even know what to say at this point, like...
This could go south!
The banner rolls for initiative.
So if his initiative isn't as good, we're fucked. Ready?
Oh my fucking god, this is going to be a murder.
This is gonna suck for me. Suck for me.
Oh my fucking god. So... Just, Jesus fucking Christ, Brad, why?
Thought it would be funny.
It is. It is. Like...
Hey, maybe she get to fight the other bitch.
Fucking Christ. Oh my god. At this point, immediately, she just starts right out of the gate as she fucking approaches.
This is quite a turn of events.
Oh, she just immediately brings up the fucking claw as you're about to see some of the crazy shit and definitely fucking hits that. So that's the first attack she gets.
This is gonna suck for me. 2 shot.
Oh.
2 shot.
So as she just immediately brings the claw and just rakes right across its side, and now she brings both blades down. Fucking multi-attack
Oh.
from fucking hell.
Hit a 1. Hit a 1. 1. 1. That's not a 1. Those are not 1s. Those are 13 and 16.
So I could just do both of these together in one fucking go. As she just...
Is that thing almost dead now?
It looks pretty hardy. It's actually bleeding out fucking lava, but you can tell the heat doesn't bother her.
The heat never bothered me anyway.
And then, what spell is she gonna do from her wand?
What spell is she gonna do?
Fucking... Oh, god, she's just gonna do repulsing. Fucking goddamn it, versus... That still hits. Jesus fucking Christ. Just immediately as she sees it coming out of the gate, as it readies itself, she just immediately goes forward, just, claw, slams both blades into its chest. You could see lava actually spilling out as it shrieks out. And in the last fucking motion, as her other arm comes around with the wand, you see this burst of force damage. Launches him backwards into the fucking pillar and breaks it as he stumbles backwards. Oh my fucking god. And immediately straight into the fucking Red King's guard. You see him fucking bracing himself against the pillar, raises up one foot, and what looks almost like an elemental charge just brings up some rock and then slams it into the sand, and it looks like a shockwave. Fucking... that will actually hit her. He's definitely nowhere near as damaging as her. For 12, and she's actually knocked prone. And that was in his minor action. So now he'll actually move forward, and then immediately bear down his fangs and try and bite into her. Fucking nails that shit. just breaking even. Actually, no, correction. That would be, not have a +5. That'd be a +29 on the damage. Jesus Christ.
I might not have made a mistake yet. Don't know. Don't know.
Dude, this banner's kicking ass.
This banner is going in on itself like we've never seen before.
Oh my fucking god. And you could tell they both hurt each other pretty badly at that prospect. As he bites, and you can see the lava as he leans down, since she's prone, pour out of his mouth over her stomach. Even though she seemed resistant to heat, lava itself still, you can tell, is searing her flesh.
It's lava.
It's blood.
At this point, you can see her kind of pivot and sit up with his jaw still wrapped around her torso. Just gotta go through the same fucking motions again.
And Josh has to just do so many fucking things. Multi-attack creatures.
Fucking monstrous creatures. The fucking 18 claw from hell. God damn. And then she's gonna do a multi-attack with both her fucking swords again. Fucking Christ. Both of those will fucking land on it. God damn. Fucking Christ. So she's bloodied it with those two strikes. As you can see her slicing you to the neck, it finally releases, and then her fucking spell. God damn it.
How's she looking?
She's not bloodied, but she's definitely hurt. So she's actually you see what looks like an
She's
arc.
got an edge.
Yeah, you can see what looks like an arc of lightning coming up as she just point blank is gonna blast this thing now in the fucking face with lightning.
I hope she misses. I just want her to miss.
Oh fuck.
Gosh, while this is happening, does it feel like the scrying has went away?
Oh, the scrying's been gone.
I mean, like, come back, my bad.
Come back? Definitely not.
No?
No.
Like, there's a long-lasting spell then?
Yeah.
Either that or it takes a while to recast scrying.
Does 11 damage, and after this huge flash of blinding lightning hits, you can see some of the other patrons in the crowd actually like gasp and cover their eyes quickly, and you can see the creature is fucking reeling in pain, and he's actually now blind. As you can see, like...
Oh.
Oh my fucking god.
Break his neck.
So now he's gonna end up taking a minus fucking 5.
Well, none of us bet on this either.
I mean, I don't really think we could. I don't think they'd let us bet on a random person entering the arena with superpowers and challenging them.
They didn't know.
So he's gonna just try and do a fucking lava breath.
Somewhere.
Just covers. Oh, he fucking fails. She just like dodges, but you can still see there's some residue that catches her as it spreads out over this area, melting into the sand and just creating a sheet of hot obsidian. Fucking Christ. So she's gonna take half of... So 6 damage. Oh my god. Which at this point, he'll just minor action try and fucking fist this woman. If he can even try and connect.
Come on. Nat 20. Here we go. It's not it.
So
I need this fight to be at least bloodied on her part.
you're gonna try and assassinate her?
No, I feel like for it to be worth for her, she has to be bloodied.
Oh, you can see a wicked grin. She's definitely very fucking injured from this creature.
Oh, she's having fun? That's good to know.
Oh yeah. You do see a very devilish grin on her face.
Oh wow, way to be devilist.
Yeah. You damn right,
I've done my part.
So fucking continuing with another fucking claw.
Are you not entertained?
So that's 21 damage. And then both the fucking swords. This thing, as she slices into it, reels back, and you can see she can tell easily she has this thing on its fucking last legs, and just with a very wicked grin, readies up another fucking force spell from her wand, and you can see she's just gonna bring this straight into the chest of this creature.
Was it good for you?
And immediately with that, as it kind of fucking launches back and dies up against the pillar, you can see the lava pouring out as the head hangs over the broken half on top.
It seems he has died.
I bet he probably believed in a flat Earth.
Probably did.
He definitely got laid out on it. You can see the wounds clearly on her. Make a perception check for those of you kind of looking at her and her wounds and all.
Oh, everybody's like probably just fucking staring at her.
I'll be watching and eating popcorn, so.
Alright, we got 2 24s. And an 11.
We got an Argent special.
Floor?
A shit rule.
Floor? Well, for those who rolled the 20s, alright, so, or you probably wouldn't catch it unless somebody mentions it, but you can tell she's bleeding amber.
Oh, no.
Amber!
Amber?
Mm-hmm. Pure amber. Almost has like a glint of gold to it. At this point, as she stomps over the obsidian in the arena, she raises one sword, pointing at Zalistra. Next time I arrive here, you're my opponent. At this point,
I have done it!
at this point, you see both UNT guards actually come up to the front, swords drawn, and you can, from the distance, you can actually tell that Zalis is actually visibly shaken by this creature.
This woman.
And
About a real nigga.
at this point, you do see her wings ignite, and as she just flies out of the arena.
Oh, she didn't want to have a conversation. I brought her here, so I couldn't get any credit. See, that went well.
This time I feel I did, but in the future, could you let the group in on your plans instead of just making them?
No.
Was summoning a demon part of your plan? Of course.
Yeah.
What are you doing now? Crashing this arena with no survivors.
Well, we're a team, Vilnak. That could have gone very horribly. If she bared a grudge towards me, she could have killed me.
I think it shifted to me when I made her come here.
Yeah, you could tell she obviously she still didn't like the fact that information was withheld from her, even in her approach. But she obviously was far more pissed off with Velnak getting her sent here, in which she has no fucking clue of where she is.
Oh, she just get teleported here?
Yeah. She wasn't even told. Her mother just fucking sent her here.
That's even better.
So with that,
Oh my god.
you see the obsidian-ridden arena with the broken half pillar. You do see glints of amber still in the arena, though, as everyone else kind of starts clearing out, as Zalistra starts ordering everyone to leave the arena for the day. Many of the other guards are calling it for repairs, air quote, as they now have to try and figure out how to heft a now cooling hulk of the Red King's corpse, the Red King's guard corpse, out of the arena. And also, you could tell very easily that she's just very upset at this prospect, as she actually goes with her guards down out one of the side entrances through past the slave pens.
Yeah, she just lost her, like, prize attraction
Um,
to a random woman that then said she'd kill her the next time she showed up.
how deep into this pit is it?
It's just 15 feet. It's an easy jump. You could tell the main reason that most haven't tried to jump out of this was purely on the aspect of the crowd would probably kill them. As everyone here in the crowd is actually armed.
Oh.
You know, I'd never actually considered that. I just figured it was like a cage match type deal, and there's just like, you know, a really tall fence.
Nope.
I want to go in there so bad for the amber, but I don't know how well that would be received.
Well, you better be quick. I mean, Alnak, if you're really fast, I have the guardian whistle so I can call you back from up to 10 squares away instantly. So, from like their maximum.
They thought me around here.
How fast do you think you're gonna be grabbing that amber? Come on, boy.
I have to make a jump down. Has anybody jumped in it before? Like, do we know?
From this, it would probably be easy to assume that somebody has at one point.
I'm gonna jump down.
Alright. So, you jump down. There doesn't really seem to be much disturbance as the crowds are kind of shuffling out. You can see a few gnolls kind of looking over in your direction as walks over and watches you for a minute. And you're not sure what they're saying, but you could hear it like barking at you for a moment.
What is he saying? I mean, I speak Abyssal.
What are you doing? Get out of the arena. You're supposed to clear out of here.
I'm not going to say anything. It's just pretty easily interpreted.
Yeah.
I assume. I guess that's what it is. And I just,
No, you're still within telepathy range. He's just asking you to leave.
I'm just gonna go up there, pick up maybe 2 pieces.
2 pieces. All right.
Like, I'm not worried about it.
Roll me strength checks when you grab onto it. You realize that they've actually melded with part of the obsidian. It's hardened like when your blood was amber.
Here's my strength check. Whew. Alright. Staying in there.
Roll me another one for the other one that you tried to grab as well. Alright,
Okay,
that one, before, yeah, because the obsidian's still soft, just snaps right out. The other one you go to grab, it's just a little too hard to, like, pinch your fingers around it.
Okay. Well, I got mine.
Are you going to give me the signal?
I'm gonna do like a swirl in the air.
Alright, guardian whistle.
Ugh.
Alright, at this point, yeah, you snatch up your nice little prize. And you see the Gnoll's face kind of look around in confusion as you're now vanished from the obsidian. At this point, you could hear them like start talking across to each other. Like, shh, be careful with the obsidian. Somebody's disappeared on that shit.
Let's get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah, we leave.
Alright, so you head out. You now have a pretty fair-sized piece of amber. One that easily fits in your palm, like the entire width of your palm. And you can tell the insides, even though the outside is hardened, the inside still seems to be liquid. It's almost like it made its own vial casing.
Well, I guess we have the first component. She really bled that?
Seems that way.
You would remember your conversation, her being the daughter of the Red Queen.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, it is the king's blood, but I mean, that would also imply there was some kind of dynasty and then they both, were directly related to each other when they married. Considering then that would imply that the queen's blood is amber as well, which would imply that they're both related to each other very closely, considering their blood is the same thing.
Could be. You do remember in your conversation with her that she was like the runt.
The queen was?
No, the daughter that just fled.
Oh, okay. Alright.
So, clearing out, you can see a lot of people are confused as to what just happened. Everyone's like whispering and talking about the Red King's Guard being taken down. At this point,
Good times.
that seems to be the hustle that's going on. Oh, where where do you guys go with your new reprisal of Amber?
Do we want to buy some slaves and leave, I guess?
That was our agreed upon plan.
Alright. So you go to find Barisi.
Barisi boy.
Barissimo! Alrighty. So, you head down to the slave markets. Surprisingly, it's actually a little more cleared out from the other times you've passed by and you know where they are. Probably due to the fact of everyone in hushed whispers and loud talk in certain areas of the Red King's Guard actually going down. So you actually are very easily guided towards Barisi, as he actually has what looks like 20 of the Walking City's people kind of like all lined out. There's what looks like posts with small cross guards going out, and their heads and arms are kind of like locked in. They only have really like loincloths to cover themselves at the most, just to keep some semblance of order so they're not totally naked.
Do we have, how far away was that tower thing that they used to call their people?
For that, it's only really 2 days travel. And that would be by foot.
Yeah, with doubling up on magical horses, or don't we have that thing that also makes you go faster to places that you've been to before?
Yes,
like hundreds of times faster. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But I believe that's only so many people can use that. Like, only goes up to so many people.
Rossi. Okay then.
Rosaria!
There you go.
Hello, Mr. Barisi, was it?
At this, let me switch over and stop the arena calling. Also, by the way, Rozzy, there's a piece of fresh, pure amber amongst the party.
Nice.
He sounds so fucking tired, Rozzy.
I undersleep a lot.
I can tell.
Last night was my fault. I'll tell you about it later.
I'm afraid now. Switching over to this, and we'll get her out of the way for the time being. As you approach, don't mind the sword. It's regular custom. You actually see this very, very large UNT, ornately adorned with armor. He has a few pieces here and there on his fingers, and a few gold necklaces, and a few hood ornaments that are clearly pierced into his scales of gold. Clearly a couple rings covering his fingers, gold and different gems and such, going all the way down. As he's going around in the main slave pen area, you clearly tell, like, this is where he shows his, a good portion of his stock, and then keeps like the rest in probably small slave cages in the back. As he looks down to you, welcome. Is there any that take your interest? These are my freshest ones.
I would like all of your slaves from the Walking City.
Are you sure, my good woman? I do have a very hefty price of 500 a head.
Jesus Christ! Wow. I'm actually rather impressed with that. It's fucking. He's pressing a hard bargain.
But I guarantee you they are of the finest upkeep. You could check every single one if you must.
Damn, that's a whole fucking 10,000 gold.
That's for what you see there.
Yeah, that is true. Alright, telepathically. How many of these guys should we buy?
You should ask him 500 what?
I guess, yeah, that is fair. 500 what?
Oh, gold pieces, or I do favor gemstones. As he kind of runs his one of his fingers around almost like a coin, but you could see all these large, beautiful, precious stones covering his fingers, and then as he kind of holds down one of his hands, even the back piece of his gauntlet is just decorated with as many gems as he can.
We have a couple of gemstones in our bags, but we don't have anything that's worth that much.
But of course, as a way of slaves, if you truly intend to purchase all of my walking city, well, I have a good collection of 52 today.
Holy shit. You know...
They've been freshly dragged in from the nomads.
Oh, you're just making Argent feel worse than fucking worse. Oh, they've been freshly enslaved.
Don't worry, we've had to whip a few into order, but they learned quickly.
Alright, asking everybody else again. How many do you think that we should buy? I mean, buying all of them is just going to increase the demand.
Probably. From my slave knowledge, would I think it would increase the demand?
Well, you would also know that would invoke the rider to go out.
If we buy enough, it'll make the rider go out.
Alright, then does everybody want to pitch in to buy some slaves back? Okay, so it's 52 at 500 gold each.
Yep, that's 26,000 gold.
Holy fucking shit.
We could always get it at a discounted price, if you know what I mean.
What are you implying, Keshi?
Oh no!
I thought that we were maybe going to mull over the idea of killing this dude and taking his slaves out.
I thought you meant just a discount for buying in bulk.
If
Do you offer
nothing
any
else.
deals for bulk purchases?
Bulk purchase?
Hey, you could try and haggle.
Oh, I'm gonna haggle this bitch.
Alright. So he, what do you offer him? Is he, he'll tell
Hit
you
him
flat
with the kawaii, dude.
Okay, so he's a proud slave owner, like he takes high pride in his slaves, so going too low would be an insult.
He did mention he does bend a little for gemstones.
Let me check our bag and let's see what kind of gemstones we got. We have a...
You can tell he definitely likes to be as flashy as possible. Gold can only go so far.
What about platinum?
We have an onyx. We have the softball ruby. Gotta throw into the incinerator. He'd probably have his jaw go through the floor if he saw that.
What about this? And Keshi will hold up a diamond, and she'll say,
Right.
"This is a unique piece from the hands of Solarna, the spell collector herself."
Even just mentioning that name, you could see it grabs his attention even more from when his eyes light up. The spell collector. I've not heard her name in an age. She used to provide us with many good slaves. For that, I would be willing to part with 5 of that nice little piece.
Well, what if I threw in this valuable drinking vessel taken from the queen's vault herself? Whatever that queen is. Forget
Vault
her
has
name.
a gender, can she?
The Queen of Sacrifice. He actually would be interested because those cups are actually carved straight out of precious gemstone.
Yeah, I'm keeping my cup. You know, you can do whatever the hell you want with yours.
Roll me a diplomacy. With
Well, this
plus
guy
5.
This guy values gems, so
Oh yeah.
figured. Oh, fucking A. Come on.
Jesus, yeah, like I don't know why this roll 20 is such an asshole at times. But he mulls it over for a moment. Obviously, you still have a good sway here, but you'll still be able to get another 5 for.
Okay, so I bought a 5th of them.
Okay, so
So
that's
far.
40 left, right?
42. So there's 42 left over.
And for the rest of them, how about if we, let's say you to lowering the price to 375 gold each for a bulk purchase.
Roll me a diplomacy with plus 5 as well, especially since Kesh buttered up with a good amount of the gem, the really
Activate
nice
glib
gem.
tongue for an additional plus 5.
Oh shit! Hit him with that.
20 plus 22.
Holy shit, dude.
You fucking nail it as you just like bat your eyelashes at him. Fucking the nice little bulk purchase as well. It was 325, you said?
I said 375, but either way.
With that, I'll give you the 325 anyway, because Jesus Christ, that roll. With such fine reprisal items and cleaning out my stock so I don't have to worry about feeding them all, I'd be more than happy to bring them down to a nice 325 each for the remainder.
Alright. Well, seeing as I'm carrying everybody's money, this is coming out of partially everybody's money.
Just open the handy haversack filled with fucking platinum.
You know, I just realized we're like 4 people. We need to convince them really quickly that we don't want to kill them or, you know, force them into hard labor, because I don't think the 4 of us can control 52 slaves.
It's a lot of fucking people to be having. Yep.
You know, as nice as it was to not have to fight that giant snake lava thing ourselves, I am a little disappointed that I didn't get to play with it.
Well, when we come back and destroy the civilization, you can play with his dead body all you want.
It is a little different to what I had in mind.
Oh dear.
So, as
I've called the police.
as you start coining out those coins, you can hear him just clap his hands together. Quick, Valentine, get the rest of the stock. And then you could see a few other gnolls quickly kind of chuckling, laughing. You could hear the crack of whips, other people crying out, some out a little bit in pain as they try and resist, as the whole group is now reshackled, all of them kind of chain gang together. And he brings them all out in semblance order. You can see the full 52 now awaiting.
Under the guise of inspecting them, I'm going to walk down the lines and use telepathy to tell them, we're taking you back to the walking cities. Do not worry.
for some of them, when they hear that, you could see like tears in their eyes, and you could just see Barisi laughing as he assumes that they're like crying because they're going to be slaves. He's like overjoyed.
My lady's cruel reputation precedes herself.
And also, I make sure to tell all of them, please do not run away from us. We have enough food and water for you. We don't want you to die.
This is amazing. So,
Warn them about dysentery. Do it.
Oh God, Juan. As he hears you say that, Akeshi, I must admit your lady interests me greatly. If she has any other suitors or children of her own, I have a few that would be happily married to such a clan of yours.
Must resist urge to sleep in coup de grace. The only thing my plan had going for it is that nobody else was stupid enough to pull this move.
He was talking about Arjun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Curious
Well,
if like, she had offspring.
I'll kind of walk over to him and kind of like out of earshot of the others, I'll kind of say, to ensure repeat business, you could maybe bestow upon her a parting gift of some sort to show your goodwill and hospitality. She will surely remember you.
Roll diplomacy again with a +5.
Oh, fuck.
Why are you the diplomacy person? You roll it more than I do.
I know.
She's getting good lines in there.
I'm far more eloquent than the rolls will let me have.
Yeah. That's why I've been giving you +5s, because some of those are fucking good liners. Fucking... So you can see him mull it over and like... He, calls over Zelgron. Get one of the nicer gifts from my vault. And, Argent, you're still walking around with, a staff,
Doing
right?
the telepath stuff.
Yeah, I'm still walking around telepathy, telling them that,
52 slaves. Takes a few minutes.
taking you back to the garden in your cities, please do not panic, please do not run away.
Yep.
Pretend that you're scared of me, please.
Yeah.
It'll make this go smoother.
Oh, that's easy, because between like being overjoyed and then like some still like upset at the matter, but like fucking shocked that somebody for what they think actually came was absolutely amazing to them. So
See, the main goal behind this, we're buying fucking goodwill from those walking city people as allies for our people. They'd turn up and be like, yeah, we have an entire fucking city for you boys.
You have you're walking around with a staff, right?
Yeah.
Right. So from the treasury, you could see the Knoll comes back with a silk covering what looks to be a staff. He's like, yes, this is perfect. As he kind of picks it up from his slave and goes over to you, Arjun. A good faith token in your business purchase. And I hope to see you again. Maybe meet family to family.
He's asking if you'll open up your cloth.
Damn right.
Perhaps in the future, when I come by again, this would be doable.
Just come back as a dude. It really.
That's what I plan to do.
Oh.
And then he says, "It only makes it better."
The dick only makes it better. What?
Now bend over. So,
Like in a silent cartoon, I write on the sign and I put it up to the screen. It just says, "Help me."
So, when you check out the staff in itself, you can tell this is an accurate staff of the Viper +2.
Staff of the fucking Viper.
Yes. Has a very distinct, what looks like to be a cobra head. The eyes are jeweled in itself with what looks like deep onyx, as well as in the mouth of the Viper as well. Has the beautiful green quartz crystal.
Oh, it would have been badass if it was like the staff of Jafar. The ruby for eyes.
This is a very nicely made staff. Who made this?
One of the artisans of the city. He's very skilled if you ever need to outfit some of your other gods that you don't travel with.
I might have to stop by. He seems most adept. Anyways, the slaves are all ready. I should probably get them back where I'll be keeping my slaves for long periods of time.
Good day, my lady. At this point, he's almost very creepily trying to flirt with you as he just holds your hand very gently and kisses it, and then goes back to tend matters.
If I wasn't a trained diplomat, I would be vomiting.
I'll also telepathically explain why the staff came into the equation. YW.
I appreciate the gesture. Please don't.
I can't whore you out for magic items? What is this?
I'm afraid he's going to enslave me, honestly.
Don't worry. If we ever come back here, it'll be under far different terms, I feel.
Yeah, instead he'll just bring you to the breeding pits.
Oh, no.
Alright, come on, 52 slaves, we're leaving this fucking city.
That is a thing in UNT society.
Do they just toss all the women into a pit and just have a giant gangbang?
They toss them to the pit of primal fucking snakes and just have slaves get fucked and produce more UNT children.
Is that really how UNT are made?
Yeah. They slept with the primal snakes of old.
So they just have a bunch of really old man snakes and they just throw female slaves in there?
Yeah, or breed with each other.
Why
Well-
did it have to be snakes?
Let's roll out with our slave army. A slave army?
So,
Clone army.
Alright, let's also, I assume they're coming in basically just rags, right?
oh yeah, they're still shackled. Their arms are like stuck to their neck. It's the full like lock stocks, so they can't really fiddle with anything, and their hands are stuck up, and they're just being kind of forced to march with whoever has like the lead chains. Even if they were to try and escape, they would very likely die, especially in the desert, locked up like this.
I'll just fucking tell them as I'm walking by, like, we'll get you guys out of the shackles once we leave the city. Alright, we're taking these boys outside. I'm sure they'd be fine in a couple of days of summer heat.
Alright. So, you start to, you start leading him out of the city. You do see, everyone is, definitely eyes on you now. Like, holy shit, somebody bought all the walking city slaves. So, if they weren't talking to you about you before, they're definitely talking about you now.
Damn straight.
You reach the choke point with the guardhouse. You can see all the guards actually like in shock of seeing this huge group of slaves being led by you. I assume you got your spectral horses back out.
Okay, I don't think all the slaves can even fit on the spectral horses. What would even be the point?
Just for you.
Are we getting the spectral horses out just for show?
Up to you.
Hell yes.
Okay. We're leaving with our slaves. Good day to you.
Alright, so Flora, you can go ahead and roll your Arcana for your super horses if you want.
Yeah, what is my Arcana? It's
I
12.
assist you.
Alright, you got +2.
14.
Nice!
Yes.
Good horses.
It's the super horses. Alright, so yeah, all of you mounted up. Each one of you with a chain in hand leading the groups. Cash, you got 2 because he's the stronger of the look. And you can tell they're all very wary. Some are still crying in tears as they're, as they pass by the lizardmen. They're all pointing and laughing as they're crying, but they don't realize that's cheers of joy and like flustered excitement of like, oh my god, we're actually getting the fuck out of this hellhole. As you lead them out into the desert, it's pretty easy. You easily get out of sight. I assume you just start unlocking them once you're out of sight of the city and
yeah.
the guards. All right. You have multiple people just coming up to you, Argent, at this point, and cash in everyone and like, thank you, your blessings from the gods. How could we ever?
They speak common?
Yes.
Oh. I didn't actually expect that.
As did the other slaves, the other slaves, air quote, the other people you freed from the walking city.
Oh, I was under the impression they only spoke Draconic. Okay.
So,
Oh my god.
when they're all sitting like, we're going back to the garden. It's still safe there.
We freed a couple of other people. Let me go look at my. I wrote it down somewhere. I'm not very familiar with your culture. I kind of have trouble with names. Zardan, Cthulhu, and Hesha.
They made it out.
Town bicycle, you asshole.
Oh my fucking god.
It's fucked up.
They made it out, but you did you find them in the desert? They ran off from all of us when the lizards came to our gardens.
They were being dragged by the gnolls, but we ended up saving them, so they're safe now.
Bless your souls. Bless your soul. When you get back, you'll surely be more than welcome in the walking city. Everyone will know your names. No. What are all your names?
I'm Argent. This is Kashi. That's Flora. That's Felnak.
Oh, they're gonna call me up there as the black one.
The black one. The Black Knight.
But there's one they fear.
And she actually comes arcing over the sky with fiery wings.
Oh wait, she's back.
Yep.
Hi.
No.
As she comes landing down, and you could see all the people very fearful of her as she goes over to Velnak.
Did you find that one entertaining?
I think she probably just wants directions, Valnak.
Oh. Or directions. Which one? I can help out with either.
At this point, as you see her, even though she's clearly regenerating at this point, you could see the deepest wounds of where the searing teeth tore into her flesh have almost like hues of gold. They would almost look like tattoos if you didn't know those were recent injuries from the arena fight.
Nice.
Count yourself lucky that it was an entertaining fight, black man.
I'm calling the police!
You can't just say that.
You can't just say that. This is... This is different times now. You saw the book. What? I mean, I figured it would have been entertaining for you. Though I didn't really expect her to just teleport you. I thought she would just tell you, but I forget how your mother is.
Your culture is a strange one to not know such things. But nonetheless, my interest still stands in your tribe.
Her tribe.
Well, if you want to meet our tribe, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you to follow a couple of ground rules.
You set rules for me.
We set rules for everybody that enters there. It's the fair thing to do.
It's the fair thing to do.
Smiles very nervously.
She kind of like walks forward, fucking eyes staring daggers at you.
It's...
No, they're very simple. I promise they're not very restrictive. Unless somebody tries to attack you, please don't kill anybody and eat their heart. That's step one.
And what if it's a slave?
There are no slaves there, so
And why are you buying so many? As she like waves a hand towards the rest that are, even though out of shackles, you could tell she still considers them slaves.
they're I come from a different culture than you do, evidently. I don't think slavery is very right. I'm not saying your opinion's wrong. Just I fought all of these people, and now they're not slaves. I've decided to free them.
You could tell she has like the biggest look of confusion on her face. You bought people to free them and not build your empire.
It's building my empire in a different way.
So they must still listen to you, even though you've given them freedom.
If they don't want to die in the desert, yes.
They'll most likely listen now out of respect than usually out of fear.
You see, if everybody respects you instead of fears you, you don't have to watch your back when you sleep. It's kind of nice.
You could tell all these ideals seem very confusing to
Very
her.
foreign.
Yeah.
But yes, if you wish to visit our tribe, I can understand we probably won't be able to stop you. So I'm just going to ask that you please do not eat anybody's heart or stab anybody that doesn't try to kill you first. Or that doesn't specifically ask to fight with you.
Does she know where she is yet? Does she still look kind of lost out here?
She looks completely fucking lost.
Oh. I mean, while you're here, I can also show you where you are.
At this point, she looks at you very hesitantly. You can tell that generosity has no fucking gain in her mind. Like,
well, I know it's a weird concept, but I guess you could call this a trade. Is I got you here, now you're getting the information for that. That seemed like a trade.
So are you taking these people back then, seeing you're willing to show me the way home?
We're taking them back where they came from. It's on the way back to our tribe. So we won't be wasting any time.
And what is your destination after you show them the way home?
We're going to our home, which is where our tribe is.
You get to... Oh man, she gets to go from having an entertainment fight to, wow, this place sucks.
This place is fucking boring.
Go back to the other one, Jesus Christ.
I will travel with you. Do not expect me to help. I only go as I wish to see your tribe.
That is what I figured. I did not expect you to help. I'm mostly just terrified that you're going to try to kill us while we sleep. So that is why I am being so amicable. Seeing as how you can fly and are very...
Aside from the black one, yes, the green one has invoked some anger when I sharing why my mother has such interests in her, but at most that would be punishment, though I have no quarrel with her anymore. But you only have some standing, black man, for the entertaining fight.
Every time she says black man.
I feel the ancestors whipping me. Just. Where are you going, Chloe?
At this point, she just kind of stands there and says, "Well, go on. Lead whatever these people are to you."
So if I had a way to communicate with you instead of each other, you could have came here on your own vocation instead of her.
She looks at you for a moment, still very angrily. So you're saying you wish to ally?
I figure it might, the way this party travels, we might run into things that might interest you.
Roll me diplomacy.
No! I have to go to the other room. What is my diplomacy? Not good. Alright, cool. Alright, everybody. Here it comes. Yeah! I believe it.
Suck.
The way I was sent here last time, I don't think I care to help you at all, and rather watch you burn with whatever else you have a challenge in front of you.
I wasn't gonna call you for help. I don't care about that.
could see her take out an orb. As she looks to you, and immediately turns her back to you and gives it to Argent.
Yay! Somebody that's not me has to hold it.
What is this?
This is an orb of communication. I have the other one. I've used such things to keep in touch with my siblings before they all tried to kill each other, and vice versa.
So you want to use it to communicate with us?
If you find something that might interest me, after I see your tribe and leave, you'll be able to call
Well,
me.
While we're traveling, you'll have to tell me what interests you.
Challenging opponents. Interesting demons. Things that might increase my own gain and throne.
I don't know too much about this continent, so I'm kind of hesitant to ask this, but are you in some kind of arms race for power? The whole environment here seems rather set in stone as far as I've seen.
With what you're doing right now, you seem to be stirring the pot.
A little bit, I think.
New faces, new races. I think there might be opportunity here, or new changes. And I prefer not to be bottom anymore.
Alright, then I will make a note to tell you if we meet anything interesting when you aren't here. What did I have to be given the fucking cell phone? Hello, demon lady.
No, demon lady.
Demon bitch!
I probably would have gotten it if like I didn't,
Didn't
roll a
fucking
5.
biff your goddamn diploma.
No, my charisma's 11, man.
Your charisma's better than my strength. Alright then, let's begin project Take These Slaves.
Alright. So, you start heading out for the 2 days travel. Whatever rituals of make food you usually cast, you can conduct for you can reduce for the 2 days. As you reach the garden, you can tell everyone's pretty overjoyed. The other 3 are actually still there.
Oh.
And you could tell they're all ecstatic. Everyone is hugging each other. They could see the other 3 that had gotten away, even though they were being dragged along. Now they're free. At this point, you can hear what sounds like something rolling over the sands and what looks like a sandstorm coming in. As you look up, you see a very large figure coasting over the edge, casting a very large shadow. At this prospect, you finally see everyone seems very overjoyed. You could see other people writing in on clearly what was the beetle that you ran into before. As they all come landing down to others that seem to have different kind of like platforms set up to be able to carry them up there with the other beetles, some flying around, others a few larger. One of them lands and you could see there's a it almost looks bizarre, but the beetle is still alive. And Flora, this catches your eye, as this clearly is a creature of undead construction, in which the body still functions, but the inside was hollowed out to be almost like a transport.
That's very weird.
I like it.
So, at this point, you could see all the soldiers going around. They look at the four of you, and they are about to draw their blades. At this point, you see that after they land and all the sand has been kicking up, that the demon woman seemingly has vanished.
Nice.
I assume she wants to tell her where we are when we're done with this.
So, as the swords are about to be drawn, you can hear them all calling, "No, no! They're the ones who freed them. Take them with us. We have to at least repay them in some kind. They're the reason we got out of the Pearl City." At this point, you can see them all hesitate, but every single person speaking up in this matter. You can tell the guards, though they hesitate for a moment after hearing everyone speak up for you, just quickly put the blade away. As one of the soldiers step forward, and as he takes off his helmet, it looks almost draconic-like in design, with very beautiful iridescent metal. And he gives you a very, very deep bow and takes one knee, looking to all of you in respect. "Please, I wish to invite you to the Walking City and introduce you to our leader. We must at least be allowed to give you a proper thanks for returning so many people to the city."
Alright, but yeah, let's try not to take too long. As much as I love being thanked, we have an angry demon that follows us around.
She will not gain entry against our wards.
I think that'll make her angrier, but alright.
Well, I'm sure I still have time before my house is built.
How long is it going to take them to build that anyway?
I don't know. I never asked them.
So, as the guard sits up, he calls out for all the others to get the platforms at the ready and get the nets set up to go. He beckons you over to step onto one of the platforms with the rest of the people. As now in the distance, the huge figure becomes even more titanic as it walks forward. You can see what looks like arms swaying at the side, different elegant designs and buildings sitting on the top from what you could tell in the distance for looking over the overshadow. As the beetles start taking off and flying over the sandstorm that follows this titanic creation, you can now see over the top of it very clearly this immaculate looking city on top of what looks like a golden sandstone behemoth. And which, as you're flying towards the city, you could see all the different cultural designs between the golden domes, the beautiful jewels, and the arcane magics that seem to be flowing around inside of it to keep it animated and walking. As you approach, you could see on one of the platforms many other people awaiting, eager to see family members that were lost and others that had seen the signal and come waiting in hope. Many of the other guards now shuffling off, and one of the guard captains coming over to you to greet you. And as he comes up to you, first thing he says, "Welcome to the prismatic Lord Sanctum." And we'll leave off there for next time.
Fucking great session. That's not exactly how I expected us to accomplish the goal, but I guess it works.
I don't think Josh really thought it would be a thing either.
Oh, hell no.
called in the queen's daughter to do a fucking aerial bombardment.
I was like, this could go badly for me. Let's do it anyways.
I honestly wonder how fast she is. Like, if I call her, can she show up in like 2 minutes?
I guess it depends on where she is.
I feel like her opinion over time of me will be a little bit better.
Yes, you, the black man.
I feel like it'll get.